This is the most down-to-earth farmer I have ever seen. When he is reincarnated, a deity tells him he can ask for any one wish, but Jack only wants to farm the land, and the more remote the place, the better. So the deity immediately makes a call to the god of agriculture. After getting the other's approval, the deity first grants Jack a body immune to all illness. Then he gives him a universal farming tool that can transform in any way he imagines. Not only does he never feel tired no matter how hard he works, even if he hits extremely hard soil or stubborn roots. After he breaks through it, the earth becomes soft and loose. But now is no time to celebrate, because he still hasn't solved the problem of water and food. What's more, this is another world. It wouldn't be strange to run into monsters or worse. After exploring a little, Jack soon arrives at a clearing with an open view. He sees a thick, towering tree in the middle of the forest, a perfect spot to set up a base. The only drawback is there's no river or pond nearby, but that doesn't stop him. He just transforms the universal tool into a shovel and starts digging straight down. After all, it doesn't cost him any energy, but soon he's in for a surprise. If he digs any deeper, he won't be able to climb back out. After thinking it over, Jack decides to change his approach and dig at a slope. Maybe the gods are smiling on him, because in the end, he actually strikes water. With his water supply secured, his next task is to clear the surrounding area of obstacles. He plans to turn this place into farmland eventually, so he transforms the tool into an axe. He's never chopped down a tree before, but he figures you chop one side first, then the other, so the tree falls away from you and doesn't cause injury. He gets right to work. Damn, Jack is totally shocked. The farming tool from the gods is unbelievably powerful, but now that the tree is down, he might as well process it further with a machete. The work goes smoothly. It's as easy as slicing through soft tofu, and moving the wood is no trouble at all. Before long, he has a stack of lumber, just enough to build a small wooden cabin. Before he knows it, the sun is starting to set. Jack realizes he has no light source. He quickly tries to summon a flashlight or a lighter, but for some reason, it doesn't work. The good news is, after many attempts, Jack finally manages to create a magnifying glass. The bad news is, by then the sun has already set. Left with no choice, he spends the night in a hollowed-out tree trunk. While he's at it, he uses a wood file to make a set of wooden utensils. If you're wondering why everything is so bright at night, it might be because there are two moons in the sky. The next day, Jack uses the magnifying glass to start a fire, then clears more of the surrounding trees. After all that work, for the first time in this new world, Jack feels hungry. He's about to go look for food, but food comes to him instead. In a moment of urgency, Jack swings his hoe at the creature's head. Surprisingly, the part he hit turns into a pile of soil. Luckily, the rest of the animal is usable. After eating and drinking, nature calls. Jack doesn't waste any time. He builds a toilet right away. It has all the functions: storage, ventilation, and cleaning. But when he actually uses it, he realizes he forgot about privacy, so he quickly puts up walls around it. Wow, the toilet is even nicer than where he sleeps. With his basic needs met, Jack can finally focus on farming. But what he never expected is that the universal tool has another amazing ability. When he's tilling the soil, if he pictures what he wants to plant in his mind, even if he doesn't put seeds in the ground, by the next day, sprouts will appear. Even the growth rate is incredibly fast. Just like that, he solves the problem of a sustainable food supply. Next, Jack puts up a fence around the area and digs a trench outside the fence. This not only keeps wild rabbits from damaging the crops, but also gives him a chance to add some protein now and then. A few more days pass, and Jack's shelter is starting to look decent. He's also finished building his own house. Even though it looks pretty much like the toilet, it's still better than sleeping in a tree trunk. One day, just as Jack is about to farm as usual, he notices two injured little creatures lying outside his base. Sensing that they mean no harm, Jack lets them in and feeds them some leftover wild boar meat. He's loved dogs since he was little, and dogs are a farmer's best friend, so he really hopes the two will stay. But soon he realizes something's up. The female looks like she's about to give birth. Seeing this, Jack not only gives up his own house for her, but also kindly lights a fire by the entrance. He himself spends the night back in the tree hollow. The next day, the she-wolf gives birth to 4 pups. Jack still mistakes them for dogs. To celebrate, he brings 2 premium cuts of wild boar. Maybe sensing Jack's kindness, the parents decide not to leave after the birth, making the cabin their home. So Jack builds another house next to it and gives the dogs names. The male is Shadow, the female is Snowy, and the pups are Shadow 2, Shadow 3, Shadow 4, and Shadow 5. From then on, everyone has their own role. Shadow hunts outside, Snowy guards the home, and Jack, all he has to do is farm and harvest. Even though life in this other world is pretty comfortable, he still feels like something's missing. Time passes, and the 4 young shadows have grown quite a bit. With their help, he won't get lost in the forest, so Jack finally discovers the river he's been hoping for, about 2.5 miles from his base. He decides to build a water channel to bring water to his fields, but because it's a big project that requires going back and forth, he cleverly builds a toilet by the river. Thinking ahead about long-term food storage, Jack plans to clear more of the forest, to plant rapeseed and wheat. That way, he can make oil and flour later. Because of this, his farmland expands into 2 sections.